how exciting. It's 6 o'clock. That means we've got a brand new one-day special. It's Sentimentally Yours. And our Phill, yes, he is here in the studio. A very good evening, Mr. Phill.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
It seems like ages since I saw you. Good afternoon, everybody.
I know, it does actually, but it's
Ages.
not that long. But it
feels like
great. It does, it really does. I think it's a while since we launched a one-day special together. Phill, you've brought to us some amazing designs here as well. Absolutely incredible. Wait until you see everything close up because the detail here as well. Now, straight away, I am going to tell you this is going to be a why not deal. So if you're not a Freedom member, this is the time to join. Yes, we'll show you the details there. You can see straight away the savings you get in there. You're saving £10 anyway. But if you're a Freedom member, you've got a further 10% off. So even if you're joining today, by the time that you've paid that monthly fee, then you will, of course, still be making those savings. You're not going to be paying for that postage and packaging. You can also split the cost. We have got Flexi for you as well, so we can bring those details for you there. 2 payments of £33.28. Now, what are we getting? We are getting 6 DL stamp sets. These are your scenic stamp sets. What I love about these as well is the fact that you've got those different scenes. There's something a little bit different about each and every one of them. And I am right in saying this, I believe, Mr. Martin, that when they're gone, they are gone.
When they're gone, they are gone. So if they sell out overnight or during tomorrow, I have no more stock to give. So just to give you a brief idea of what was in my head when I did these. So some of the people that know me will know that I did silhouettes a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I've changed it a little bit. So this time they are in clear, they're photopolymer. That's based on feedback from people saying it's difficult to stamp them when they're in rubber because you can't place them properly. So now I've made that easy by making them rubber. These are full scenes, but within each and every one of these scenes you can split it into 3, 4, 5 or even more ways. So effectively, so you look at the B one there that Catherine's just shown you, you can use either end, you can use the middle, you can use the 2 on the left, the 2 on the right, the 1 on the right, the 1 on the left. So each of them is giving you so much scope. It's not just a DL stamp, it's a stamp that's a scene that you can actually stamp into and cherry pick little bits from.
You certainly can.
The curved sentiments as well, so it's the same font, brand new font. The curved sentiments feature throughout them all except for one, which is a remembrance.
Okay, yeah.
So the curved sentiments are featured throughout. I am cutting them out by hand, so I'm going to show you how to do that. It is easy. However, one of the ladies in my Facebook group, she said, well, actually, you could probably use your oval dies. Like, oh, yeah, why didn't I? So it's actually a really clever way of using them. So if you have my double de-embossed oval dies, you'll probably be able to use them to cut those out. So I've made sure that this collection is different to how I normally do things. You have something for the boys, something for the girls. You have something that's a little bit more magical with the fairies. Yep. You have the remembrance one that we're looking at now. And I've specifically done that because it's something that means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to a lot of other people as well. You don't have to just use it for remembrance.
No, of course
So
not.
if you've got somebody like somebody who's in any of the forces, you can use that for them, and it's really emotive. I love that one. I think that might be my favourite, the Sail Away.
Do you know what I've done? Yeah, the mermaid, I hadn't spotted when I looked at the samples earlier.
Blowing a kiss.
Yeah.
She's blowing a kiss to the sailing boat, as you do.
And those little dolphins jumping out of the water there as well. You've got little birds, the clouds, everything about that is just beautiful. We've got so many samples here, Phill, as well. I'm going to show 1 or 2. Just going to pick these up randomly. We are already 10% of the stock has gone. We've got a lot more to show you as well. We're only 5 minutes in. You are absolutely loving these. Now, this is a good indication of how much I love these stamps. I've made about 24, 25 samples with these. Have you?
And I literally, in fact, I was messaging Julia going, I need to stop. But you know, as soon as you start using them, you just get so many ideas. And there's so many different techniques you can use with silhouette stamps.
Oh, there really is. In fact, the one that I'm showing you there, silhouette, but then, of course, using the silhouette stamps, but with the colour there, it looks incredible.
And how different does it look? Just by using different coloured embossing
I like to do
powders.
that, Phill. I like to bring 2 cards in that have used the same stamp but show the complete difference there, because it does show the versatility.
And more importantly, this is a collection that you're going to bring out year after year after year after year.
Yeah, oh,
because
definitely.
Nothing within this collection will ever date. So you know you're going to be able to use it with all the things that I've brought you in the past, things that are coming in the future. And the fact that they are clear means it's so easy to place them now. So I've made portrait cards with these. Now, you would never look at a DL landscape card and think, oh, I could do a portrait card with that. It's just there, Catherine, the cream one on the left.
Oh, right, OK.
Next to the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
so
know,
that just shows you how you can change the whole look.
It does. That's what I was looking at, actually. There's so many samples here now. I've just spotted some that are very, very different as well. The samples I did show you there, very similar in style to the one I'm about to show you, but I've picked this up because I adore the colours.
Yeah.
This is your cardstock, isn't it? And your embossing powders, Phill. Isn't that beautiful?
It's gorgeous, and that's with the twinkling embossing powders, the silver.
Absolutely stunning. But then to show you this one using the beehives, I mean, that is a completely different compilation, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful, as is this one as well.
Love
gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, doesn't that work well with the embossing powders as well?
We're going to be using them on the first demo. Well, I'm saying the first demo, you know it'll be the only one I get done on this hour.
Cannot wait.
But yeah, it's quite an in-depth one.
Do you know, I'm going to show a couple more while I give the details as well, because I want to get as many in as I can. So you are getting 6 DL stamp sets here, 25 stamps in total. You are making that whopping saving there as a Freedom member. So if you're not a Freedom member, I'm going to repeat it again. It's a why not deal. Do join, and you will, of course, make those savings today. We've got Flexi for you as well. 2 payments of £33.28, and you need to be quick, because when the stock has gone, it has gone. We are not going to be twisting Phil's arm. He's told us not to bother doing that. He is going to be going home early if we sell out. That is what is going to happen. 888-026 is the item number there. Now, you might also have had a little sneaky peek of what I'm going to show you next there in one or two of those samples. Oh, I knew these were going to be busy. I knew everything was going to be busy, but these, I think, are something very, very special. Now, it is very important for me to show you the actual stamps again, because they're much bigger than the stamps or how they appear on the packaging there. 20% of the stock has already gone. You've found them. You are absolutely loving them. These are the backgrounds, but they are A5 backgrounds. They are enormous. And Phill, I can tell straight away the quality of the polymer that you're using for that. You really can.
Yeah. So this was actually, I'm going to give Julia credit where it's due, because it was Julia's idea for me to do some A5 backgrounds. So
I think I've got that one upside
I've called
down,
them
actually.
my big background collection, because they are full A5. Yeah, if you look at that, you can see you've got floral corners in there.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got the little bird in there. You've got a rose in the bottom corner as well. So lots of little elements you can cut out. So yeah, this was Julia's idea to do the A5 backgrounds, and I'm so glad that I did, because I've used them just about every sample that I've made.
They are absolutely amazing.
And
they really are.
I've done ones that we know are generic, that we're going to use all the time. So you've got the lovely vintage script, you've got the map, and you've got the music. I'm not sure whether you've noticed, but these are journal pages. So on the edge of all of them is the same torn journal edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a landscape one, so you can see it at the top.
There,
look.
right at the top, yeah.
Yeah, so these are, there's kind of a theme developing there. So if you like your art journals, or you like creating your like crafty journal books, you know, you're going to be able to use these for your backgrounds.
Absolutely perfect. Oh,
they're gorgeous, aren't they?
They are. Honestly, I fell in love with these as soon as I saw them. There's the script for you as well, so you can see the edging there running down the side. Absolutely fantastic. It's one of those, again, you do not need to be able to read that script. It's just the perfect size, whether you're adding a whole background or just coming into the edge and stamping by hand. You don't even need your blocks for these. We are so busy on these. A quarter of the stock has already gone, and it's another one of those. When it's gone, it's gone. So don't wait to check those baskets out. A £5 saving, £39.97. That is an incredible price, actually. 609752 is your item number. The samples speak for themselves, but do you know what? We are going to see more inspiration as well. And of course, using these in correspondence with the one-day special as well. You've got Flexi on there. You can split the cost on these as well. Do we need more inspiration? Let's have a little bit. Here we go. Yes, absolutely amazing inspiration there. You're going to love these. These are going to be go-to stamp sets, aren't they? Whether it's the backgrounds, whether it's a one-day special. We're looking at the one-day special again in front of me here. What a great collection, your DL stamp sets. Now, I must stress at this point as well, we do have dies that are going to be so perfect to go along with these. The details are there, just disappearing there for the one-day special. We'll bring that back up again shortly. But we've also got some back in stock dies for you as well. Now, Phill, am I right in thinking when the stock has gone of these, there won't be any more this year?
We sound like a broken record, don't we? So basically, the story is the double deboss, the eyelet circles and the double deboss squares, I wasn't going to reorder this year. Yeah. So this is your chance to really get them. I won't be reordering again this year, so once the current stock is gone, it's gone. So if you've been waiting for these, they've been out of stock since last year.
Wow.
So I would really urge you to get the double deboss circles, the eyelet circles and the double deboss squares while I've got some.
Yeah, there's lots of people been waiting for these. So the double deboss circles are there on the screen, $35.99, 202719. We've got the elegant eyelet for you next. Phil's just mentioned that one as well. Again, many of you have been waiting for this one. 14 dies again. You do get your magnetic sheet as well with each of these, which is just a great plus, isn't it? £35.99 again. These are such great size dies as well, 134320, and then of course we have the square for you as well. There it is. 14 dies again, of course that magnetic sheet included, £35.99, item number 903840. We do have more dies, don't we, Phill, as well?
Yeah, you've got the DL dies. So these are literally brand new. I think Julia launched them literally a couple of weeks ago. So this might be the first chance that you've seen them. So the DL dies, I don't know, do you want to go over?
We can have a quick look at those if you
so the DL dies were obviously, they're going to be perfect for these because the largest of the dies, these stamps, all of these stamps will fit in.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll let Catherine show you.
OK, we'll have a good look at these. I'm going to turn these around so you can see the actual dies themselves as well. We've got 28 dies in total here. This is a great bonus for you to have these on the show again today. So if I turn this one round.
The proper DL as well. So the largest die is 99 by 210, which is proper DL.
Yeah.
So you know the largest die will actually make you a DL card blank, and then of course you've got all the graduating layers there as well in the 4 different finishes.
I love the fact that you've got the different finishes there. So you've got your traditional corners, so to speak, but you've got the eyelets in there. This one you can see you've got the rounded corners double debossed as well. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
You've got it, my double Ds.
Yeah, there we go. And then, of course, we've got that inverted corner on this one as well.
Yeah,
I think it is important always to show you the dies because, you know, the quality of these as well. You've got that non-stick finish to these as well, Phill.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Well, anybody will tell you that these really, they cut brilliantly. They emboss in one go. Yeah. You don't have to put them back through your machine. And they're non-stick. They're Teflon coated.
Brilliant. And then we've got the, I'll say the traditional sort of corner again, but you've got the double deboss again in that one. Absolutely stunning. £8 saving, 411362. Again, if you're going for the one-day special with Flexi, you've got it on these anyway, but you can split the cost of anything else that you're popping into your basket if you've got a Flexi basket already open. Wonderful. Right, without further ado, I think we might be able to get over to our Phill for demonstration.
Right, OK, so we know I'm only going to get one demo done in this hour, but it is quite an involved one. So I'm just going to show everybody, because people don't believe when I say I've made 6x6 cards, and I've actually made about 4 now, yeah? The one I'm demoing now is a 7.5 by 7.5. But this is my 6x6. So we're going to do a different version of this. If you follow me on social media, if you go to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, I put an album on there this morning. There's over 60 samples in there that show you some of it, gives you loads of inspiration. And I got in this habit, well, I started with that one in the black, white and craft, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do one in all of them, with all of the stamps, and it just looks so classy. So this is where we're at. I've got my 7.5 card blank, and then I've got the craft card there, just with the stitched edges. Yep, so this is my double-sided craft card. Yeah, double-sided, so it's the same on both sides, and it's actually the best one I've ever used. Then got another white piece that we're going to emboss in a second, so I'm just going to pop that to one side. Okay. I've then used my double debossed circle on the craft card there. You can see I've got the double debossed edge.
Yeah.
There we
Lovely
go,
stuff.
and I've stitched it. Don't look at that stitching, my eyes might have been a bit funny. So we've got the stitching on there, we've then got a white piece that we're going to stamp onto. I've got another circle with a double deboss, and we're going to get cracking. So I'm going to just emboss this piece first.
Okay, we have got details on the screen for the dies there for you. That's your double debossed essential circles, if you want those. The craft card has been there as well. You've probably, well, I know you've already spotted it because you've been buying it in its droves. That craft card, Phil, I've got to say, we see a lot of craft card, but you do see a variation in colour.
You do.
That colour is beautiful, and the fact that it's double-sided, so you haven't got the difference.
And the weight, Catherine, the weight is amazing. So, you know, sometimes you get craft card and when you start putting your glue on and your foam tape and it goes a bit wobbly. This doesn't. I think that's why I love it. Right, so I'm going to emboss this piece. I've brought back the collection of 5 embossing folders on the show. So these are the 5 that I'm using all the time. And I just thought it was a really good idea to let because it's sometimes difficult when you see them all on the website, you don't know which one to go for. So I've put the 5 that I use all the time in a little bundle even, in a little bundle.
Yeah, that's a great price again, Phil.
So I'm going to use this one with the white piece from the card, and this is the classic flourish. I'm just going to run it through my machine. Most people that know now, I better put my glasses on, Emma. Most people that have collected my embossing folders now will know how thick they are. Yeah. They're actually 2D embossing folders, but the detail is just amazing. So deep. So I'm just going to run this through my machine, because I don't normally do this live, and I thought it might be nice to just show everybody this live. It'll probably take me 20 minutes longer, but you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that I never think to do live, because when I'm doing my prep, I over-prep. Just to save time. But
it is nice to see it.
It is nice just to show you sometimes how these are when you do it live. Look at that. How gorgeous is that?
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm just going to flip that over because the deboss side is just as gorgeous as well.
That is beautiful.
So this is, if you're collecting embossing folders, this is a really good way to get 5 that I think are essential. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and we're going to stamp our background, our big background. So just get these out.
We're so busy on those backgrounds. 40% of the entire stock, and I emphasise entire stock, because I'm sorry to sound like the broken record, but when they're gone, they are gone. So make sure you grab yours as quickly as you can. 609752. I think the value here is absolutely incredible. These are A5 stamps. Every bit of that A5 has been taken up with that background, whether you use it as a total background, whether you break it down, just use it around the edge, or you do your second generation stamping and you're layering, it doesn't matter. You will find these are your go-to stamps.
Okay, so we're on the original card here. I've used the script in the background. I'm going to use the script again and show you how to elongate that. Now, if you saw me doing the Facebook Live yesterday, I apologise, because I did that on there as well. Not for anything I did wrong, Jimmy, in my ear. Jimmy's laughing. So it might actually be big enough to do all in one go. So I'm just going to go through this and show you. So I was saying to Catherine before, when we were having our meeting, I've used these on loads and loads of my samples, and I haven't yet taken them off the acetate. I've only actually stamped them with the acetate. I found it easier. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So literally, I don't know whether you can you see how much acetate I've got spare at the sides? There we go. So on both sides, look, and just move it across. You've got enough there to hold that. Yeah, without worrying about it. So we're going to stamp onto this double debossed circle. So I'm just going to explain to you what I've done. So the double debossed circle means when I stamp this, because we've got the debossed edges, we're going to lose a bit of the stamp on the edge, and it'll look a bit scruffy, grungy. We'll say grungy rather than scruffy, grungy. But the nature of this stamp is designed to be like that anyway, so that didn't bother me. However, when we come to stamp the beehive, I want a complete image, and I want the ink to be underneath the debossed. So we're going to do it the other way around. That's the only reason. So I'm keeping that on my acetate sheet. I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black. I'm just going to turn it that way.
Oh, Phil, half the stuff has gone. of those backgrounds. They're literally flying. Will they sell out tonight? Who knows? They may, you know, they may very well do so, because they're not coming back. So if you really, really want them, you're not going to be hanging around. Do you know, I will say as well, you can come back. If you check out your baskets, you can come back. If you're sitting on the fence on one or two other things, but you really, really want something, don't wait, because you could miss out on them.
I'm laughing because, you know, every time I say to everybody, there's no more once they've gone, there's no more. But it's true, I buy specific amounts, obviously. Right, so I'm just inking this up on the acetate sheet, yeah? Okay. And we're going to stamp the edge. Just remember that these backgrounds are really, really forgiving. So if you're not a confident stamper and you do this and you drop it, for example, it really won't matter. He says, just in case he drops it. So I'm just going to the edge, look, and I'm literally using the edge of the stamp, just underneath my thumb, you can't see it, just to stamp that. So I'm holding it in place, and I'm literally just pushing down on there. Yeah.
Lovely.
It's just a really easy, quick, simple way, and these backgrounds work perfectly with the Silhouette stamps. It's over 3 years since I did Silhouette stamps, and I love these so much. Yeah, yeah. And because they're clear, I think this is why I've enjoyed working with them, Catherine. Because they're clear, they're really easy to work with. Let's have. Oh, that's just awesome. Right. Okay. So me being as finicky as I am, I don't want another section of the torn edge. Yeah. I just want script there, so it looks like a book crease. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Look at me with all these tips and tricks.
I know, what is going on, Phil?
On a Sunday afternoon. So I'm just going to move that across. I'm going to ink it again, but remember, I only want this side this time. Okay. And it's only actually a tiny section, so I'm just going to do that. Now, again, this is something I did on my Facebook Live yesterday. The video is there if you want to go back and watch it. It was a different demo. But I'm going to cover this up with my tissue. Yeah. You can do this with a sheet of paper, which is thinner, obviously. One of the ladies said to me after the Facebook Live, could you do it with a sheet of acetate? But I wouldn't, because it'll slip. Yeah. So now all I'm going to do, look, is I'm just going to stamp over there and just put some of that script on the edge. So now it just looks like a continuation of the, oops, I will do if I can show you. There we go.
Love it. And
so now it looks like we've got a crease in the page.
Yeah, and you've got those splats as well, Phil, so you know, you can make use of those when you're joining up as well. Because it takes away the eye if you're not lining things up exactly as you wish. How much has gone? 60%?
They're not going to last long, are they?
60% of the stock has gone. Phil's getting excited, thinks he's going early. We're going to find a way to keep him here, don't worry.
So you know I'm cleaning this now, because I can't be doing dirty stamp. So all I'm doing is I'm still leaving it on the acetate sheet. I'm going to give you another little tip that I've discovered as I was making my samples. So I've wiped that just with my water wipe, and I'm going to get another piece of the kitchen roll. I'm just going to put that down there, and I'm going to put it face down on the kitchen roll. Ah,
yes, I get that. Yeah.
So it will absorb the excess moisture with it. So you know, sometimes when you put it on the acetate sheet, it just goes wet and stays wet. I don't want that. How about, look at that top tip on a Sunday afternoon.
Amazing.
And now we're going to do one of my favourite stamps from the Silhouette collection. I'm going to use the busy bees. We're going to use the busy bees. Aww. So I'm just going to quickly, have I got time to go through these before? Right, I'm going to do that then. Just because it's nice to show you what was in my head when I was designing them. Which might scare you. It might scare you. So I'm just going to put this down as a little collection. Okay. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. So it was a conscious decision to have a couple of masculine ones. So you've obviously got the sail away. It doesn't have to be, because I know ladies that sail. And then you've got the generic with the grasses and the frog. I just want to show you the detail, because you don't always see that. You spotted the mermaid. Yeah. I've made sure, can you see, I've made sure that you can use every section of these. So you can use the middle of that, you can use the end with the lady soldier. Yeah, so you've got the dolphins, the mermaid, the lighthouse, you've got the clouds, yeah, and then you've got the sailboat. So if I just do that, in fact, actually, Jimmy, can you get to that? This is a really good way to show you how you can use all three to make three different cars. Wow. So I'm just moving out the way. Am I in the way still?
Yeah, just a little bit, Phil. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that is
So
a
that is
great
one stamp.
example.
That's one stamp.
That
You won't believe that that was one DL
Do you know, to
stamp.
put three together as well, Phil, and have the larger image in the middle,
yeah.
that just works so beautifully.
I know, I'm clever. I'm clever.
You are. You are.
On my good days,
I hate to keep patting you on the back, Phil, but you are.
Thank you, Catherine. So each one of these stamps is actually a minimum of 3, 4 different ways you can use it. So then you've got the I forgot what pond haven I've called this.
Yeah.
So just come into the detail again. You've got a little ladybird on the edge there.
Oh, I didn't
so
spot that.
every section, can you see it?
Yes.
Just on the end. So every section has its own element. The frog on the rock, yeah, the dragonflies. And there's a snail on the one on the left
that's
there,
my favourite one now.
And it's those kind of things that make Silhouette stamps special, because it would have been really easy for me to just put loads of grasses and bulrushes, but the detail is what makes them special.
Well, they are special because already, how much has gone? Almost a quarter of the stuff has gone, Phil.
Oh, I'm glad everybody loves them, because, I mean, they're not easy to do, to get the balance of them being right. So then you've got the remembrance one. Now, I said right at the top of the show that this is obviously something personal for me as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know of many kind of stamps like this. I did do one a few years ago, not a Silhouette, like a mixed media type one. But here you've got a lady soldier, you've got a man soldier, you've got the extra poppies, so you can create your backgrounds, yeah. You've got poppies on the actual stamp itself at both ends and in the middle. So you can still use just sections of that if you want to, yeah. So you've got more choice just with that. And again, the reason I know that this will work for people who work in the forces is I've got friends, Val, if you're watching. Val is ex-military, and she saw this and she's like, I need that. Oh. Yeah, I need that, because it's obviously very emotive. So that's one side. And then the other side, I'll try and be quick because I've still got stuff to do. So the other side is obviously, I've done one that's generic. So you've got the lovely daisies there. You've got the bunny in the corner. Yeah, so again, we can have the higher daisies in the middle. Well, there you go, that's a good way to show it. Higher daisies in the middle, you can have the right section with the bunny, you can have the left section that's got a high daisy underneath and then it gets lower. 3 different ways to use that one. I'm yakking, aren't I? Sorry, I'll try and be quick.
No, but it's good to see the explanation.
Then we've got the busy bees, which I absolutely love, which is the one I'm going to be using now. So again, you've got the gorgeous sunflowers, so you can use the middle one on its own. There you go, you can see. Yeah. You can use the middle one on its own, the left one, the right one, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and so many different ways. So don't look at these and think, oh, do you know what, I don't do DL cards, because you don't have to. I'm not making a DL card as my sample. And then the last one...
You don't have to, Phil, but I think if you don't, give it a go, because I think you'll be addicted to a DL card.
Well, it's a card done, isn't it? It's giving you choices. Yeah. And then the last one, you might want to show everybody this little trio I did. Yeah. So the last one is I forgot what I called it. Secret garden, yeah, because it's a secret. So you've got 3, you can see there quite easily, 3 distinct sections that you can use from that one stamp. That's just by looking at it. And then when you start playing, so much more. And that's another little trio that I did. So these are portrait cards, not landscape. Aren't they gorgeous?
Using those backgrounds there, Phil.
So the middle one has the script in the background, and the other 2 have the music in the background. I'm going to be demoing this tomorrow.
Oh, I love those.
Right,
just to bring the colour out with a bit of ink and those flowers, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. So I've yacked on for long enough. It's important for me to explain my thinking. Yeah. So remember I said to you we want to cut this out on a double debossed circle, but I don't want the grungy edges. I want the ink to go underneath, which means we need to stamp the whole thing and then cut it out afterwards.
Got you.
So I'll just put these in order. I've actually got my spares here as well, because I like a clean set as well. Once you start using black ink, it does, with the best will in the world, it does leave a bit of stain on your stamp. So I always have a spare set, just for when I retire. So I'm just holding that in place when I'm like 95 or something like that. So again, I'm going to stamp this with the VersaFine Onyx Black. Personal preference with this, you'll see me tomorrow using the VersaFine Claire Nocturne. Okay. So it just depends what kind of mood I'm in. Yeah. I am going to emboss this as well, so we're going to put some twinkling embossing powder over the top of this. Okay, So tap, 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 tap. Remember, silhouette stamps, sometimes you do need to go back in a second time. So you're really going to make use of your stamping platforms with this. So I just want the middle section, so let's just make sure I've covered that up. Here we go, let's have a look. Well, that'll be fine actually, because I'm embossing it. You know what I'm doing, I'm sorry everybody.
So if you weren't embossing that, Phill, if you wanted that just as a silhouette, would you have gone back in with another layer?
Yes, absolutely, because I would have wanted it jet black. I would have wanted it really dark. And my VersaFine has had a lot of use. So we're going to go in now and emboss that. This is going to give you a different look again. And on the show, I've put the twinkling embossing powders.
Oh, we'll bring the details up for these.
And we're using the Cosmic Crystal, which is the clear one. So what that will do is it will literally just give us a lovely little crystal twinkle. Oh, so lovely. Just a different look again. So had we have stamped this in purple and then done the glitter over the top, it would have been a different look again.
Of course.
I love stamps that do so many different things.
Straight away with these, Phill, you can see the versatility. The details for the embossing powders are on the screen actually right now. Set 3 and set 4 is what we've got there for you. 6 individual pots, there's 20 millilitres in each, and as we all know, if we've used them, embossing powders go such a long way. £32.94 is the price here, 673425. They are absolutely stunning as well. If you've not seen them before, just watch what Phil's about to do.
Right, so I'll just do this and then I'll let you give everybody a quick recap while I get ready for the next. So this doesn't matter whether you do this from above or below because I'm actually going to die cut it. So I'll just do this from above just so it's quicker. You'll notice I'm doing the whole image, even though I only want the middle section. And the reason I'm doing that, I'll tilt it in a minute for you. The reason I'm doing that is because I will use those extra bits. You can just use them for decoupage, you know. How gorgeous does that look?
It is stunning. You can see all those little bits of colour coming through there. A bit of blue, gold.
It's actually a really good way as well. Like, so if you weren't using a stamping platform and you were using an acrylic block and it was a bit faint like mine was, just go over it with your twinkling embossing powders. Nobody would ever know. So you're actually not going to waste anything. Here we go. I'll just let you have a quick look at that. And then I'll just gives it a second to cool down while you do the recap before I put that out. Look, Mr. B.
Oh,
I love
fantastic.
all the little bees as well that are floating around in there. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry if it's dazzling you.
Wow. That looked amazing as you were heating it there, but now you've put that towards the camera. Look at the effect.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is gorgeous.
It's the crystal one, so you've got like hints of like iridescence, so you've got the greens, the lilacs, the purples in there. Yeah, isn't that fabulous? But more importantly for me as a stamper, look at all the detail that's remained.
I was just going to say, no compromise on that detail in the stamp, so you can see every blade of grass, every bit of detail, the legs on the bees, you know, it's all there, you've not lost a thing.
Isn't that fab?
Beautiful.
Right, so I just need to let that cool down for a second before we put the dye over it. So I'll let you recap.
Right, quick recap then. I can tell you that over a quarter of the entire stock has already gone. We're only half an hour or just over half an hour into the first hour, the launch hour. When it's gone, it's gone. There is no more. We cannot be bringing this back. Now, if you've just joined us, you will have missed at the beginning of the show. This is a why not deal. If you're not a Freedom member, if you join today, if you're buying this, join today, you will still make extra savings. You can stay with us for a month and then decide whether you want to stay longer or not. You will save money across that month if you are purchasing. £66.55 is the price. And once we've taken into account all those different savings, all the considerations, if you're becoming a Freedom member, if you're already a Freedom member, the price that I'm going to give you on the Flexi as well is also applicable. There's the page that explains how we break this all down for you. Even once we take into consideration that postage and packaging, you can still see that you're making those savings there. So don't miss out on these. Look at that, 2 payments of just £33.28. You are saving £17.39 there. 888026 is the item number. We're looking at another sample here using that gorgeous craft card as well. Do make sure you're stuck up on that because we've got that on offer. I know lots of you have been buying that already. The other stamps, the background stamps, are proving extremely popular as well. We'll come back to those. But for the one-day special itself, these scenic dies are absolutely beautiful. There really is something for everyone. Don't miss out. Seriously, don't miss out on these. You will regret it if you do. Right, the background stamps, just mentioned those as well. Oh, wow. Oh, I've just had an update on these. Oh, my goodness. 70% of the entire stock has gone on the backgrounds. And again, there is no more. Just while I'm here, I don't want to take away from Phill, but very quickly, I'm going to flash up the actual stamps for you as well, so you can see the size of them. Remember, each and every one of them has got that sort of torn note paper effect, as though it's been taken from a journal. Depending on the stamp you're looking at, you'll see that in a different position. So if I bring in the map, the world map there, you can see we've got the notebook, the torn edge there at the top. Look at the balloon. The more you look at these, the more you're going to see in them. Absolutely incredible quality as well. I can't tell you how rigid these feel. That's because of the depth of the polymer that's been used. That one's upside down again. The depth of the polymer, the fact that you've got, you know, a large piece here that you are going to use every single scrap of. That little bird there is beautiful. There's florals in here. There's a rose in here. You know, you can see every single music note. You can see those splats, that distressed look. You can make it very grungy. You can pretty it up. You can work with these in so many different ways. They are not going to hang around. If you really want them, I'm urging you yet again to get them now. 3/4 of the entire stock has gone. £39.97 is the price. 609752. Do you know, that's just scratching the surface of the items we've got on offer, because there's loads more on the website as well. But the important items, of course, with the new today's, that's the one-day special in the backgrounds, but the die is very busy as well. We've got the DL dies, which are going to work perfectly with the one-day special. We're back in stock with those circles, the squares, the double Ds there. We've got all sorts of different adornments for you as well, those lovely embellishments. There's the craft card. We've got beautiful edges, the embossing powders. Look at the reviews here as well. Oh, just fill your baskets. I always want to say fill your boots, but it's fill your baskets, isn't it? And look at those embossing folders. Phill has put together a collection of his most used 5. So, you know, that is a great buy in itself. And we've still also got stock of the watercolours there for you. So if you want to fill the gaps there as well, you certainly can do. There is something for every purpose. Watercolour card, your coloured card, your tweezers, it's all there.
Crafted a long time, you get to know what we need, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so I'm just going to quickly show you. I've got my, look at that, look, my Slimline DL in their own little tub.
We have
so I just want to show you at this stage, you can actually take your DL dies, look, and you can cut those out. Obviously, you do it on a bigger piece, but that's effectively your card blank done, your card done. You can then go in with the smaller one, so I'm just going to go to the next one down, and I've made sure, look, that on every one of these stamps you can actually use the matting and layering part of the dies. Okay. So we could go smaller still. I'm just going to show you before I cut out. So we could do smaller still, look. Oh. Yeah, and so that's actually 3 different layers we can do with that.
It is, because it doesn't matter if you use a little bit of the image. It looks nice that you've got the flowers coming in from the edge of the framework there.
So we're going to cut this now with the double D boss circles. Okay. So this is the reason why I've done it this way around, so that I could choose now which section I wanted. So I could use that one, because it just looks like the row is continuing, but I want the middle one because it's got those 2 symmetrical, because I'm a bit OCD with symmetry. Yeah, so I've got the two sunflowers there. So I'm just holding that in place with my Scotch tape. I'm cutting down because that's what Leonie told me to do. She said, because I never cut facing down. So let's see what happens. You can see I brought a lovely clean plate.
Do you know, that's interesting that you just said that.
Do you cut face up or face down?
I always cut face up.
Yeah, I do, Catherine.
That was the way that the original dies and the original die cutting machines with the instructions told us to do it. And I know when Lou Collins is here, she does it that way as well, and there's a reason why she does it.
Yeah,
but it does work both ways. It is preference.
Always cut face up. Right, so we've now got that lovely image I'm going to pop that back on there. Remember, this is how you're going to get... please don't miss out on the big circles and the big squares, because I'm not getting them back this year. I was telling Catherine, I had so many people asking me to get them back, which is why I've done it. So now what we've got, look, can you see where I've gone in? We've actually still got the image continuing, which is different to the background. And now you know why I wanted it nice and neat. So I'm literally just going to glue now if you want to do anything.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll tell you what we'll do then, Phill. As you're gluing, we will return to the background stamps because the stock continues to keep flying out the door. 80% of the stock has now gone, 80%. I'm just going to grab, while I'm here actually, 1 or 2 more samples that uses both the one-day special and, of course, the background stamps as well. There's more samples in front of me. You know, whether you're getting them all, so it doesn't matter, you don't have to choose, but whichever you're using, the script, of course, works beautifully, the music works beautifully. You've also got the map there as well. There's those stamps that you really do want to sort of really look into them, really just sort of spot all the detail in there. Anything that's got those splats on there, that distressed look, I just think is wonderful. Let me just show you the size of the stamps again. I'm going to come back with that world map again, because this one, this one really, you know, is meant to be horizontally to get the true effect of it. But of course you can cut into this, you can change it around if you so wish. I mean, that would make a double page for a little album as well, wouldn't it? You could score that straight down the middle. And you've got a double page spread. Love it, absolutely love that. Balloon right in the centre there. You've got the maps. I mean, every single layer in here, you just sort of really, you're drawn right into the centre there. I mean, I'm still spotting things now. I didn't notice a star before, I've just spotted the stars in there. You've got the compass in there, haven't you, as well? You've got, so much detail, that true distressed look on that one. All 3 of these, I don't think you can ever go wrong with script or music. It doesn't matter what theme you're working with, it just works, doesn't it? You have got a saving here as well, a £5 saving, just $39.97. That's the price for this one. Do you know, within the time I've just spent showing you that world map stamp, just one of those, we've gone to we're approaching limited stock on these now. They are not coming back. 609. Oh no, it has just gone limited. Just gone limited. You need to be really, really quick. 609752. That's the item number. If you're thinking about getting anything else, I'm going to repeat this again. Check your basket out now on these to secure your purchase. Then come back if you're thinking about buying something else and you decide to go with it later. Because if you wait, you're going to miss out. Let's see if Phil's ready. Are you okay, Phill?
I'm all ready.
Yeah, lovely.
So all I've done, just to keep you informed, is I've literally just glued the embossed piece onto the craft piece, and I've popped that on some 3D foam tape because, you know, I'm a bit obsessed with it. My circles, I've just glued them together, and I'm chucking them underneath my mat while I'm working because it'll keep them flat. And what we're going to do now is use one of the sentiment discs. Now, I love these. Absolutely love these. Now, I can tell you this is probably going to be the last, if not the last, the second to last time these are going to be here. Yeah. We sold out last time I had them, and I only had a little bit of stock left, so I brought the little bit of stock left that I had back to this show. But if it goes, they won't be back.
Oh, these are great. So I got flexi on these. What a lovely combination of stamp sets you've got there.
You ain't going to show anybody, have you? So I'll quickly do it because I want to try and finish this card. So you've got your relatives, to my, to our, to the best, blah, 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 and all the relatives, blah, blah. You've got the numbers there, but you've not just got normal numbers. You've got just the small size there. You've got the one here with the number 1 and then the word running up the side. I've made sure it goes up to when I retire age. And then you've got all your ordinals in there. You've got the inspired one, which I absolutely love, and I have used this one loads on my samples with these silhouettes. It just seems to work. Like the journey, explore journey, works with the sailing, works with the map. And then you've got your essential one, which is the one I'm going to use now. So we're going to stamp and emboss this in white embossing powder this time.
Oh, nice.
So this is the first time, I think, that I've put all of my embossing powders on one show. Because normally I'm really specific and I stick to one set or 2 sets. So you have got, if you go on the website, you have got the option of all my different embossing powders on the shawl.
Oh, another great time to fill gaps then, Phill, if you've been collecting and you're missing something.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So I'm using white. So we're using the craft card and we're using white embossing powder this time. I'm just going to make sure I've got a different sheet of paper.
Those stamps, Phill, are absolutely perfect if you want to make your own calendars or use them for your journals or your notebooks and things like that.
I mean, they sold out when we had them last time. So, I say. Right, okay. So we're gonna stamp. What am I using? The B. So let's have birthday love.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the ones that are designed to fit in the circle dies. Now remember, when I brought these last time, I didn't have the circle dies to show you, so I'd already got all mine done. So I'm going to show you this time.
Okay.
So I am going to anti-static this just because the embossing powder is really fine. How much time have I got? Oh, I'll finish this easy.
Oh, you're doing a fantastic job, Phill.
Easy. So you can see what I've got here. I've just got a bit of scrap from when I've been die cutting. And I'm going to stamp this into my Versamark. I'm going to be quite heavy with it because it's a solid stamp with the text open. I'm just going to stamp that there. Remember, I'm going to die cut around that, so I need to make sure that I've left enough space. Let's see if I had enough Versamark on that. I love doing this. These stamps, if you didn't get them last time, I'm telling you, you need them in your life because I've used them so much. Let's just get that on. Oh, yeah, that'll be lovely, thank you very much. And then we're going to heat that from underneath this time. So remember, if you're using my craft card, because it's thicker than the average, it's 350 GSM, and you're heating from underneath, just give it a little bit longer to start melting without scorching your card. So let's just do that, and then I'm going to cut that out.
Now from underneath, Phill, just to remind everybody, would you get a smoother finish from underneath?
Hang on 1 minute. So remember not to waft, just let it start melting and then just follow that round.
Oh, I didn't realise you got the little stitching line there. That shows the quality
so the stitching is actually better if you just use an ink pad, because obviously embossing powder expands.
I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, so that's not bad at all. We're going to cut that out now. I've got so much stuff round here. Do you want to do anything while I'm just getting this ready? OK, yeah. Seeing as we'll want to give Phill as much time as possible, so we'll have a look at these. I can tell you single figures now on the backgrounds. They are going to go. This seriously is your last chance. There's no more coming back. We're not fibbing. We're not pulling your leg at all. This is it. So if you want them, you've literally got very little time to get them because they're not going to last. 609752. You get all three of them. The script, you're going to get the music, you're going to get the maps as well. Let me just show you these sizes again while Phil's getting ready. Make sure I've got the bird the right way up, so that's the way I can tell with this one. It's that old age, you know, I haven't got my glasses with me. There we are. There you can see the music, you can see every single note, that notebook edge there, as though it's been torn from a journal. You've got florals incorporated in the design as well. Let me just bring the script in. Let me show you. Oh, have I got that the right way? That way up. There we are. Or is it the other way up? There we are. No, I've got it the other way, haven't I? Do you know, whichever way it is. I think it's actually that way. There we are. That looks better. That looks better. I can tell the map because I look at the balloon. That's how I can tell with the balloon. There we are. I've actually made
absolutely
the landscape one. So you've got the two vertical and you've got the landscape, but actually it's easy to just use that in portrait as well. You just stamp it 2 or 3 times.
Of course, and that lovely tone edge there again. Oh, perfect. 2 payments of £19.99, 609752, single figures. We are almost out of stock on this one. Check those baskets out right now. I know.
Right, so I'm literally just going to die cut this, so I'm just showing you how this works. So I've got it's the second smallest of the double debossed circle dies. Remember, we could have done that with the second smallest eyelet die. We could have done it with the second smallest double debossed octagon die to get you a different look. It's just a really clever way of using them.
You know, it isn't taking longer, but doesn't it seem an age when you wait for it to go through and you're getting close to the end of the show?
Right, let's get this card put together. Let me just take that tape off. I've got no fingernails, which is when I notice. I can't have long fingernails, it drives me mad. Oh, I'll fix that in a minute. I'm trying to get this card done, because if I don't get one done, I'll never hear the end of it. So let's get this card assembled, but let's just quickly show you how that looks when you've got that lovely debossed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
It's classy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The double debossed is really classy. The elegant one as well, the elegant eyelets, gives you a different look. So we're just going to start putting this card together. Okay. I'm going to be super quick. 7 minutes sounds like a long time in my ear, but it's not when I start putting flowers on. You'll be glad to know they're already done. I did want to show you all at home how I use the flowers, the stamps and the dies, but I'm not going to have time now. I'll do it in the morning. So I'm just going to pop that on straight on. And then this one's going on, and then we'll just decorate. See? I told you it was only one demo, but we have done quite a bit.
We have. We've talked through everything as well in full detail.
Yeah. I like to do that because it's the best way to show people, like if you're new to this as well. Yeah. So straight away, as soon as you put the beehive over the top, look, it makes the text go further into the background. We've then got a couple of little flowers, just a couple. Look.
I love the black embossing powder.
Yeah, no, this is just black. This is not embossed. This is just black versified. Yeah, it's just ink. Yeah. So this is. I'm just going to tell you. This is the. This is a sweetheart flower stamp and die set. They are on the show, they are on the website.
They're beautiful.
Mentioned on my Facebook Live yesterday that I launched these. There are 4 different flowers, 4 different stamp sets, 4 different die sets in duos. Launched them last year, but I am now literally hanging on with stock. So if you're collecting and you've got 1 or 2 and you need the others, this is probably the time to do it.
They are so pretty.
So I'm just going to stick all this on, and then I've made a card. How about that? From scratch, no less. So I'm just going to pop these on. So I'm just sticking these on, so if you want to do anything, Catherine.
Now this is a similar card, but you can see the flowers are different, but it's just as beautiful. Those background stamps are used again there in a different way this time. This time, Phill, you can actually see that tone edge. You know where it's been joined? You can see.
Yeah.
And I do like that as well. It gives it a really nice effect. Oh, don't miss out on those background stamps, whatever you do. Right, the one-day special as well, 30% of the entire stock gone. And we had huge stocks because we know there's no more coming back. Details are on the screen there for you. It's a why not deal. Join the Freedom Club if you're not already a member. £66.55 is going to get you all 6 sets. And you've seen from the samples, you've seen from just the one demonstration how versatile these are, how you can section them down, how you've got various different stamps and sentiments. Those semicircle sentiments are in there as well. You know, these are going to work with your other stamps as well. Absolutely beautiful. 888026. Let's get back to Phill. Oh, we've got an announcement. Off they're gone. Oh, technical sellout on the background stamps. Yep. If you've not checked your baskets out, check them out now. If any bounce back, we will let you know. Oh, wow, Mr. Phill.
I know. Thank you, everybody. It's gonna, you know what's going to happen. It'll be the same with the silhouettes as well. So, forewarned is forearmed. So I'm just literally sticking this together now.
I love the fronds that you've just applied on that. It
The
really sets it
ferns,
off
because I know the savvy of you will have spotted I've used fern leaves.
Yeah.
They're not out yet, but they are coming soon. They don't miss a trick. You know the
yet?
girls in my Facebook.
Oh, you're teasing us now.
As soon as I use something that's not out yet, they're like, "Where's that?"
They spot them straight away.
And then we're just going to finish with a little circle sentiment, and then I'm going to find a couple of black pearls just to finish off, because I like to finish the edges. I don't know whether there are any black pearls left on the website.
We saw plenty of embellishments on the website. I think there were there. I can't guarantee it, but do have a look after the show.
They're not on my show because we've never got enough stock. So I've got choices now. Look, I can literally go anywhere with these lovely circle. I'm going to go there with these circle sentiments. And I'm just going to pop a couple of little black pearls. I'm not. I'm going to do a silver, just to be a rebel. I don't think there's any of them on the website. But I'm just going to put a couple of silver pearls on, and then we are done. So on the show, I have got the tweezers, and I have got the pokey tools and the pickup tools duo. Where's my lid? Here it is. just to forewarn you, because I always forget to put them on my shows. And then people message me and say, where are the pickup tools? So they are,
really
if you go on the website,
well.
you will see them.
Yeah, we'll bring the details up, so if you've missed that before, there you are. You've got the Poké Tools Duo, so that's the Phill pickup tools. Also included there, the Duo there, both sets, $11.99, 974 186. Very, very useful indeed. Really good quality as well.
So on the flowers themselves, I've got the original white pearls, but I love black white craft and I love the silver on it.
That does work
I just think the
nicely.
silver looks really classy on black, white and craft.
Wow.
And there we go, we've finished a card.
Oh,
classy,
well done,
classy,
Phill.
not brassy. How
Look
about
at
that?
that.
I'll just show you the
Yeah,
difference.
bring in the fairy one as well, so we can see the two different versions, both using the script from the background that is now sold out, but you can still, of course, go for the one-day special with those 6 scenic stamps there. Break
they're
those down.
gorgeous.
They are amazing.
You imagine if you were selling these,
Oh.
I just think they look really classy.
You would have the most amazing display of cards to sell, wouldn't you? If you've got them all set out on little shelves and things. Beautiful, Phill. And of course, I mean, the black, the white, the craft card there, but as we've seen from the samples, in fact, I'm going to bring a few more back in,
I
if I
know.
may.
You could, whatever colour you do these, they look
Regardless
amazing.
of colour, you're going to get stunning results. Let me give you those details again. The saving there is for Freedom members, so join the club if you're not already a Freedom member. You're still going to make extra savings after everything's paid for. Phill has been very, very careful to make sure that it's catered for absolutely everyone, all ages, male, female. You know, there's magical themes in here as well. I'm just randomly picking these up because they're all so beautiful and I hate to miss things out. I try and show different ones each time. That is gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, I'll just give that a little bit of a tilt so we can see that. Just some of these as well, Phill, the pond one and also the flowers with the rabbit. I think if you're doing a second generation stamping in front of something else as well, they work great as a foreground or for shadow boxes and things like that. Beautiful. 888026 is the item number. Over 30% of the entire stock has gone in the first hour. We've had a sellout on the backgrounds. These could end up, well, they've been flying because the stock is huge. Phill is back at 8 o'clock. We'll see what happens to the stock then. There will be more sales in between as well. If you've made your mind up and you're thinking, yeah, these are the ones for me, I want to go for these, purchase them now, check those baskets out, sit back, relax, watch the rest of the demonstrations. We'll keep Phill as long as we possibly can.
See you at 8. Thanks,
but who
everybody.
knows?
Thanks,
who
Catherine.
knows? Thank you very,
You're welcome,
very much.
thank you.
Oh, do stay with us, more to come.